In a hidden corner of the world, there was a lake known as the Lake of Equalities. It was a place where white swans lived in harmony, gliding gracefully over crystal-clear waters under a perpetually blue sky. But one day, something unexpected happened. A black swan arrived at the lake. At first, the white swans didn't know how to react. They had never seen a swan of such a different color before. The black swan, sensing the stares and the shared silence, felt out of place, but chose to stay. He had a special reason. Since he was young, he loved the autumn leaves that fell into the lake of his homeland, each one telling its own story of change and transformation. Here, in this new lake, the leaves told stories he longed to hear. On the second day of the black swan's arrival at the Lake of Equalities, his presence began to be felt more strongly. As the sun rose, painting the sky with vibrant colors, the black swan gently approached the groups of white swans, eager to share the beauty of the dawn. However, as soon as he joined them, the white swans, with a subtle but firm movement of their strong wings, created distance, leaving him isolated at the edge of the lake, watching the spectacle of nature alone. But this didn't bother the black swan, as he was resilient and didn't care much about the others' attitudes. During collective meals, when the caretakers scattered grains, the white swans clustered together, leaving no space for the black swan. He, in turn, patiently waited for them to finish, feeding on what little was left, always on the sidelines, without showing any bitterness. As the weeks passed and autumn painted golden patterns over the Lake of Equalities, the black swan began to create his own routine, rooted in resilience and hope. He observed from the edges, watching the white swans during their morning feasts, a communion from which he was excluded, not by choice, but by the invisible veil of prejudice. With the elegance that was his nature, he picked up the seeds that escaped the others' frenzy, finding in them not just physical sustenance, but a metaphor for his own situation. Even in what is overlooked and discarded, there is value to be found. Then came the day of the great flight, a tradition among the swans, where they would all gather to fly together, creating a beautiful aerial dance over the waters. The black swan, eager to participate, spread his large wings and approached. However, as he joined the formation, one by one, the white swans moved away, breaking the harmony of the flight. The aerial dance, which had always been a spectacle of unity, became a series of small, disordered groups, excluding the black swan from their tradition. After that day, which should have symbolized unity, the black swan found himself once again at the edge, watching the fragments of that broken dance reflected in the waters below. The rejection could have crushed his spirit, but instead, he chose to see it as an invitation to create something new, something of his own. In the first light of the next dawn, while the white swans still rested, the black swan took flight alone. He no longer sought to join others' dances. He would create his own. With fluid and precise movements, he soared, ascended, descended, and spun in spirals that captured the first rays of the sun. His solitary performance was a visual poem, a celebration of individuality and the strength that comes from being true to oneself. Winter was approaching, and the swans began gathering feathers to strengthen their nests against the cold. The black swan, knowing well the hardships of winter, had stronger feathers and offered some of his own. However, his black feathers were refused, left aside, as if their color could somehow taint the purity of the white nests. These moments of rejection, though painful, did not harden the black swan's heart. Instead, he found strength in the wisdom of the autumn leaves, reminding himself that each leaf falls and decomposes, not to disappear, but to nourish the earth for the next season. He understood that time and patience were his allies in the journey toward acceptance. Each moment of indifference, rather than weakening him, reinforced his determination to show the beauty of diversity. He knew that, like the autumn leaves he loved so much, true change comes not from conformity, but from the courage to be different, and the strength to remain kind in the face of adversity. That kindness, that peaceful persistence, eventually touched the hearts of the white swans. They began to see beyond the color of his feathers, recognizing in him a beauty and strength that complemented their own. The black swan didn't seek to change the lake's traditions. He wanted to enrich them with his presence, just as each autumn leaf enriches the soil for future generations. Over time, some white swans began to approach, curious about the black swan's creations. They listened to his stories about the leaves, and together they began to see the world around them with new eyes. They learned about the importance of change, acceptance, and forgiveness. The black swan taught them that, like the leaves, we all go through transformations, and that it is our ability to accept and forgive ourselves and others that makes us truly beautiful. The transformation didn't happen overnight. It required patience, understanding, and, above all, the willingness to listen and learn from each other. As the seasons changed, the Lake of Equalities became a place of true beauty and diversity, where swans of all colors shared stories, laughter, and dreams. The moral of the story is clear. The path to true acceptance and celebration of diversity requires more than just acknowledging differences. It demands an inner transformation, where we learn to question our own prejudices and resistances. Just as the black swan found his place and voice amid rejection, each of us has the power to redefine our narrative and turn challenges into opportunities to highlight our unique beauty. The story of the black swan also reminds us of the power of resilience and example. Through his patience and perseverance, he not only found his place in the lake, but also transformed the hearts of the other swans, teaching them the invaluable lesson of inclusion and empathy. His story inspires us to be agents of change in our own communities, fostering an environment where everyone feels valued and included. Finally, the lesson of the black swan reminds us that building a more inclusive and compassionate future requires dedication, love, and the courage to face the unknown. By embracing diversity in all its forms, we not only enrich our own lives, but also create a legacy of acceptance and unity. May the story of the black swan inspire us to celebrate our differences, forgive with wisdom, and see the unparalleled beauty that each unique being brings to the world. Together, we are stronger, richer in experiences, and more capable of building a community that embraces diversity as its greatest strength. If this story touched you, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Share it with friends and family to spread the message and help us reach more people. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thank you so much for your support. See you next time.